Now, the Senate has confirmed 45 of the 48 ministerial nominees sent to it by President Bola Tinubu. However, it deferred the confirmation of 3 nominees who it said are awaiting security clearance. Those affected are the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, a former senator from Taraba, that's Sani Danladi, and a nominee from Delta State, Stella Okotete. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio announced the confirmation of the nominees after they were cleared by a voice vote by the senators at the plenary. The senators had cleared the nominees by voice vote at the committee of the whole when Senator Akpabio read out their names one after the other. Senate spokesman Senator Yemi Adaramodu is joining us now on the program to speak about the confirmation process for ministerial nominees and the relationship between the executive and the legislature. You're welcome to Newsday, Senator.
Oh, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Now, based on what you've seen play out through this screening process, would you say that the ministerial screening process is very thorough?
Oh, yes, quite thorough. We told Nigerians before we even started screening that we were going to do very thorough job and that it is a very serious business. Very serious business for Nigerians to know who are going to join Mr. President in order to make a reality onto the policy of Mr. President. And we know that Nigerians are looking up to the legislature to ensure that the best that is only good for Nigeria is done for them. And yes, we look forward to it. And when you knew how senators even could not even go on the legislative annual break because of the screening. We were even sitting on Saturdays. There was no public holiday for us. There was no weekend for us. And it was not even morning to afternoon anymore. 9:30 p.m., 10:30 p.m., we were still in the chamber doing the screening. So it will show Nigerians that it was a very serious business. And that senators took the job very seriously, of course. And then the screening process was quite thorough. Questions were raised, posters were raised, questions were asked. So many things were demanded from the nominees, and they were thoroughly subjected to the eagle eyes of senators. And meanwhile, we believe and we know that the names had already gone into town before we started screening, and soliciting from Nigerians that whoever has anything, either for or against, to say about any nominee, be the nominee a woman or a man, that Nigerians should furnish us. And moreover, we are here representing our senatorial districts. We come from communities and constituencies, and then our constituents too. Whoever has anything to say about any nominee should forward same to us. And then there are some cases that we received many. In some cases, it was kudos on nominees that we received. And so during the period of screening, like I said, parameters were set. And the parameters were, we look at your CV, where you are coming from, who you are, whether you make it constitutionally, because before you can be a minister in Nigeria, you must have qualified to be someone who can be voted for to become a National Assembly member. And so that is the minimum qualification that you should have. One, you have to be a Nigerian, thorough Nigerian. So then your background, other backgrounds. Then we deal with security check too. So those are the parameters that were used in screening the nominees submitted by Mr. President to the Senate for screening.
Well, it's good to know that such hard work was done on the part of the senators working overnight and during the day. But there were quite a few criticisms of the process, namely the amount of time that it took to screen those 40-some-odd ministerial candidates. including the fact that they have no portfolios. I know you said that the screening was quite thorough, but from the other end, some viewers might disagree with that. Do you personally see any room for improvement in the ministerial process, screening process, that is?
About screening, maybe because you mean that some quarters that they believe it was not thorough? I can't understand that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You are suggesting that because portfolios.
Yes,
you are suggesting that because portfolios were not added, it to make it very difficult for us to screen. No,
both.
We believe that whoever is to be minister in Nigeria must be somebody who should not be pigeonholed to only one ministry. Because as a minister, you are supposed to administer the bureaucracy and the technocracy of the ministry that you are posted to. So it doesn't mean that if there is a governor that is going to build bridge, that the governor must be an engineer before he can build bridge. It doesn't mean that a governor must be a medical doctor before he can build an hospital. No, it is the management of human resources that makes you an administrator. And it is the management of human resources in every ministry that makes a minister a minister. And so when you find yourself in any ministry, you must be able to manage the personnel there. Because in every ministry, they are professionals. They are careerists. And so those professionals are the ones that you are supposed to manage when you get to a ministry. So if somebody is a minister for works, then what are we going to be looking for that we qualify him to be a minister for works? If he studied philosophy or psychology or quantity surveying, because in the Ministry of Works, there are quality and quantities of yours. There are civil engineers, there are structural engineers, there are building engineers. So those are the people that you are going to meet there, and those are the people that you are going to administer. So it is for you to be able to ensure that those ones that are supposed to work in the ministries do what they are supposed to do, and you supervise them. So you are the feedback belongs to whoever is the minister. So that's why we don't pigeonhole one person to a ministry. It is not necessary at all. So, for example, in those days, when Nigeria was running parliamentary system, even like in UK presently, so you are voted for in your community to bring you to the parliament, and so it was in the parliament that you are going to be selected to be a minister. So does it mean that when you are contesting in your domain, you must be a professional so that they can pigeonhole you to a ministry? No, it is about administration. That is what a minister is meant for. So I will see and I will say it and I will repeat it again that this time around the screening was very thorough. It took the senators about 9 days of thorough screening, morning, afternoon, and night. Even at times it dovetailed to almost 10 p.m. in a day. So to do the screening. So can we say that one is not thorough? It's very, very thorough. Quite thorough. Even the issue of take a bow and go did not even come up as much as people were even expecting. Even former senators, even serving senators, we still ask questions from them. The Senate president will raise it that, yes, he is a senator, but if there are questions for him to answer, if there are posers, if there are issues on that person, every senator should feel free to ask those questions. And that was how it went. And there was no nominee that did not spend at least 1 hour before he or she can maybe take leave of the Senate chambers. So I posit that yes, and actually, so the Senate has done a very thorough job. And if Senate has not done a very thorough job, all the 48 that were submitted would have been screened and they would have gone for confirmation. So out of 48, 45 were screened. 45 were screened to success. So for confirmation, were confirmed actually. And then the other 3, so we are still expecting some other reports on them.
Duly noted, Senator. We have about 2 minutes left with you. You're adamant that this process was thorough, even though we, like you rightly said, we're still, the security clearance, we're still waiting for about 3 of those nominees. And you said the take a bow and go did not come up as much as people were expecting. But if it came up at all, is that not an indicator that perhaps it was not as perfect as you're painting it out to be?
Okay. The take a bow issue that you are talking about, the take a bow issue, 60, okay, yeah.
No,
okay, the take a bow issue that you are talking about, when we, even in our statutes, like 1999 Act, that is Act 208, privileges. So anyone that has been a senator before or currently a senator, privileges can be extended to him or her. But in this case of this just concluded screening exercise, even senators, serving senators, former senators, despite the fact that we can extend that privileges to them, we still ask questions from them. We still allow them to convince Nigerians, to convince senators with who they are, where they are coming from, and what they can offer. And all of them did same. So, and another thing is that, senators will not even be manufacturing questions, because if there's, so that people will say, oh, there are questions for senators, either former senators or current senators. So everybody, every senator was given the opportunity by Mr. President of the Senate to ask whatever questions from their CVs that had already been submitted to us. We can raise posters, we can raise issues, we can talk about anything, we can ask about anything. And I said that, yes, these nominees, they were in public domain before we even started screening them. Nigerians were free to even submit petition if there is any against anybody, any nominee. So there was never a time that anybody was even prevented from raising any issues, but just submit a petition and bring it through your representative in the Senate, and it will be dealt with. And so that is how it went. That's why I said, to the best of the capacity, the ability, the constitutional agility of 10th Senate, that screening was done very well.
Well, if that was the best of the ability of the 10th Senate, then we look forward to more. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, Senate Spokesman Yemi Adaramodu.